Hey everybody, and welcome back. In today's video I want to have a look at RUNE again. Now, as requested in the comments of the previous RUNE video, people wanted another little update, and if we zoom in here we can see that RUNE has continued up, unlike how I thought it would, further than I thought it would anyway. And the reason I didn't upload this video yesterday is because I've recently been building a new PC, or updating my current one if you will. So I ran into a few problems, to cut it very short. But at least now I have RGB, so all worth it, you know, all worth it. Anyway, getting straight into it, we can see RUNE has literally only just gone up. And even today we can see it's put in a higher high on the daily, even though if it is currently below its daily entry from where it came in today. If we put on our moving average, we can see RUNE has broken above the moving average very easily, to be honest with you. It's flown through it, and it's closer to sort of the Bollinger Band than it is to the moving average. And if we zoom out and take a look at RUNE, the only times we've seen this happen with RUNE was during sort of the bull market, or the recovery, sorry, not the recovery, the dilapidation after the bull market. So when we started coming into the bear market, we saw one last pump here in sort of early 2022, and then once we got up like this, it went straight down. Now, with RUNE here, okay, I want to show you guys this. It took one big push for RUNE to come up here, and I know there isn't a moving average, but we can sort of see the line do something like this, if you can imagine it. It took a big pump here from RUNE when it launched, okay. This took it above its moving average. It then stayed all above its moving average until the next bull run, where it eventually dropped back down when, you know, the bear market started to come back. So everybody thought originally when the bull run came that this was the peak. It obviously went down to here, and then afterwards we had like a second pump. We saw this with Ethereum and Bitcoin. They had a May pump and an August pump, and RUNE seemed to have one much later, and then it dipped back down. It came back up again, came back down, and ever since it's been below the moving average, the daily moving average. And we can see we've had like meager wicks above where we've sort of floated around the moving average range, but it has eventually gone down below, came back up again, gone down below. And this is interesting because it shows here that RUNE has been testing this moving average line for a while, and now it's finally broken above it in an extreme way, where it's shot up above it. And even though we're still in sort of the early stages of what might play out here, it's still well above the moving average. In my opinion, well, not in my opinion, this can go two ways. I can see RUNE staying above this moving average now, and potentially holding above this moving average. Even if it does continue to go down, I can still see RUNE staying above it, like it did back here. We don't have much data to go on with RUNE. It's a 3-year-old coin-ish, 4 years now actually, my bad, excuse me. So we can see that this is actually roughly a year to date here. We had a pump that brought us up above the moving average, and then we stayed above the moving average all the way up into the bull run. Not that history always repeats itself, but it looks like it could in this case. We've had a big push that's pushed us over the moving average, and it's been testing this moving average for a while now, like in the macro way. If you zoom out, you know, ever since this year basically, it's been testing this moving average, and it's done it twice, and both times it's broken above, floated on the line, dropped down below, broken above, dropped down below, and now it's finally broken above meaningfully. I think we stay above this moving line, personally. The other thing that happens is it just turns into one of these, where we break above and we go down below. If we go back to our very first sort of move from RUNE that we were looking at, this happened in November, December, sort of the end of the year sort of time. And once we went up to these levels, we didn't really go back below them. We spent time at them, but we would oscillate between a range. Coming back to RUNE here, Sorry, my auto log's undone. Coming back to Rune here. I see personally a break above the moving average like we have before. A much stronger move than this one, where it hasn't been just a day where it's gone up, struggled to climb any higher, and then dropped down drastically. I've seen multiple days where we've shot up through, and even though we've come into a bit of resistance now, that doesn't mean that it doesn't come down, but I do think we stay above this moving average. If we go into the hourly, I want to see how it's performing roughly. We can still see that it's climbing way above the Bollinger Band, and even now it's dipped down below significantly, and it's done this it's done this 3 times now, and that would suggest that the momentum is cooling off. As we can see here, every single time we were above the Bollinger Band, every time we had any sort of resistance, it was for a few hours, and it wasn't much of a sell-off. It was like a little bit down, and then we climbed straight back up to where we were, a little bit down, straight back up, maybe a few hours down, but this is over a day sort of thing, and then new pumps coming in. And we can see now we're having very sort of big movements. So this is where lots of people are aping in, and now the people that are smart, they realize, okay, this coin literally can't keep pumping this way. Even if it drops down and then bounces straight back up, it can't keep climbing just this significantly. So people are selling their bags, and whether they're looking to buy at 40 cents or 30 cents, whatever, I don't know, but the smart money is selling right now, and we can see this. So my advice, not financial advice, just my opinion, in fact, not my advice, I would, if I was a gambling man, I would short Rune right now, or I would sell my Rune if I'd bought any, and I would wait until we get to around a $31.3 price. I don't think we'll move below this moving average. I think we'll stay around this moving average. I think we'll dip below, come above, but I don't think we'll go below meaningfully. On the hourly now, and on the daily, I don't think we'll go below significantly. I think we'll float around it and above it, and even if the moving average tends down, I still think we'll be on the upper Bollinger Band of it for most of the time. So what would I do now? I think a correction is due. With this movement, we can see that suddenly a lot of selling pressure has come in. I think you'd be smart if you were with the herd on this one, sold your Rune, wait until it came down to a price like a 1.3, maybe a 1.35. This seems to be a level of sort of support here now that was resistance for a while. And then maybe put a buy order in here for 135. Once that buy order is executed, you might see a climb back up to 1.55. You might climb higher, you might not climb very much, you might go lower. Again, it's all speculation. I just wanted to give a quick update on the price now and show you that the momentum is cooling off a bit. And even though we're having these really strong pushes up here, where we're getting, 10% moves over 3-4 hours, we're still getting different moves that are, down 9% over the same time period. So yeah, hopefully this has been useful to you guys. If you like the video, smash that like, hit the bell icon too, sub if you like, whatever. It's all chill, I don't mind if you don't. And yeah, thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of your days.